Sicily is a magical island. It's where I got married and where I experienced the slower pace of life for the first time. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, wonderful dishes. Let me share one of them with you. Hey, so pasta alla Norma is a Sicilian dish made with eggplant. So the first part of starting this recipe, go buy eggplants. Okay, so the next step is you take your eggplant and I quarter it because I like to use this mandolin right here to make life simple. Now, the next thing you're going to do is use your mandolin to slice these into pieces like this. I make mine about 1/4 of an inch, and then go ahead and go through this process. Next process is that we're going to salt those. After you're done cutting, you're going to put a ton of salt in a couple of bowls that are big enough to fit your sliced eggplant. Now, in true Italian fashion, there's no measuring cup involved, so I would eyeball, 3/4 of a cup in a bowl this size. So I do 1 giant bowl per eggplant, and I usually cook 1 eggplant per person because I like to have a little left over. And then once you fill this with salt, you're going to do it about 3/4 of the way with the eggplant, and then you need something to weigh it down. This whole salting process is to remove the bitterness from the eggplant. Some people will insist on putting it on a paper towel and salting it that way. You can certainly do that. I'm sure a million people are going to come on here and argue with which way is better. You do you. So here's the eggplant in the salted water. I put a little plate on top and then a bowl on top of that to weight it down so that all of the eggplant are coated. You're going to leave it there for about an hour and a half. While the eggplant is soaking, you're going to want to go ahead and get your sauce started. And for me, I like to begin with mutti because the ingredient is tomato and the one on the right has basil. And that's it. So because of that, it's going to be a little bitter. You could use a little bit of baking soda, or some people use a tiny bit of sugar. Depends on where you're from. But if you want to be a hero, go ahead and harvest your tomatoes, boil them, peel them, extract the seeds. I just don't have time. I went ahead and put some oil in a pan, about 2 tablespoons, and a healthy dose of minced garlic. You'll want your garlic to be about that color. Then go ahead and add the mutti. And again, this is all while the eggplant is being salted. Keep this on really, really low heat. Essentially, you're going to be cooking this on low for the next hour, hour and a half. A little bit of wine later on, and I'm going to cook this down for about an hour and a half. Don't add a bunch of other stuff. That's what makes Italian dishes wonderful, is the simplicity. So no oregano, none of that bullshit, just what I said. Okay, so we've rinsed the eggplant. I've let it dry, drain, rinsed again, dry, drain. That way you make sure that you've got all of the water off there because you don't want to put any water into the frying oil. So I have about 1 inch of olive oil in each of these pans. Why am I doing 2? Because I don't want to be here until I'm 100. So this kind of expedites the process. The sauce is still cooking in the back here. At this point in time, before I do this, I'm going to add a little bit of wine. from last night. We had opened this. This is a Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. Obviously, you don't have to use this wine, but I'm going to be drinking it, and so I don't want to put anything that's in there that's not something that I want to drink. But you can put any table wine in there that you want. Not vinegar, but table wine. Allora. Okay, so now we can begin. Now, I get this to where it's hot, but you don't want it to be too crazy hot. I like to keep it on medium heat, low to medium heat, so that it's not going crazy. I'm not burning the eggplant. I'm just sauteing it. And, these aren't quite hot enough. Oh, that one's... So when they get to be somewhat translucent, you're gonna take them, flip them over. I just use some regular tongs. Doesn't have to be beautiful, but don't let them burn. And then when you're done, at the very end, you'll put these on a plate, and my husband likes to cut them into little pieces. So you'll see sometimes that people actually cut these into chunks, cook them that way, and then combine them. But he likes the flavor this way. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I like it too. So there you go. After one of them's cooled off, like after you pull off 2 batches, I always like to taste them. See, I'm not crazy about my rinsing, so I like to keep a little bit of the salt still on there. Oh, delicious. That's why I do 2 eggplants, because in this whole process I probably just eat 1. Okay, so next we need to salt the water. Generous amount. And yes, you need to salt the water. I know there's some debate over this, but let's not. Salt the water. And then I like to use the Checo. It's a pasta that you can find in most grocery stores in America. I prefer bucatini, but you could also use spaghetti, I suppose. And what you're looking for in a pasta is just durum, semolina wheat, and water, and that's it. Nothing else. If it's got a bunch of other ingredients, it's not what you want to do. Slow drying obviously is the best, but Di Cecco you can probably find in most places. And don't keep your eye off of the eggplant over here. The sauce, I've already put the wine in it a while ago, and we're going to boil this for 8 minutes. 8-9 minutes tops. You want it al dente. Not floppy, not goopy, al dente. Okay, so we've mixed the sauce in with the pasta.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito. How is it?
It's good. Not as good as my mom's, but it's good.
God, so you woke up choosing violence today. For this Sicilian dish, of course, I would recommend a Sicilian wine. My first recommendation would be from COS. The COS winery has red wines in all sorts of different ranges and price points, but is one of my absolute favorites. Next would be Donnafugata. Donnafugata is a wine with, again, all sorts of different price ranges and styles, but this is one of our house favorites. If you'd like to visit some of these wineries that I just mentioned in Sicily with a goofball wine expert like myself, reach out to us at www.excursionsbybergio.com and we'll make a fun wine trip for you and your group.